Hi y'all, this is Regina. I've seen a lot of questions on different groups of how do I get my decorative fills and motifs off of a USB drive and into my computer or my embroidery machine. And I'm going to show you how to do that. And we're going to start on the computer. So I'm in File Explorer right now. Let me go to my C drive, and you're going to click on the little arrow that's next to your C drive, and hopefully you're going to have a folder that says Palette 11 or PE Design 11, and you're going to click on that and see this pattern folder. That's where your decorative fills, motifs, programmable, your programmable stitches should be. So let's put in a USB drive into the computer. I'm going to put mine in. This is the one from Baby Lock, the Design Suite 1. And it should pop open a window that shows you what your drive is. So it's L on my computer. On yours it's going to be different. So let me shut this down just so that I know. And if I scroll down on with my slider bar or with my mouse, scroll up and down, we want to go to the L drive. And you're going to click that little arrow and expand. And you're going to click this arrow and expand. And you're going to click each of these and expand each of those subfolders. Alright, so here's the Halloween fills. Now I have my view right up here at the top. You have home, share, and view. I have mine on extra large. Yours may come up looking like this. It may come up looking like that or like that. All of these will work. I just like to use this because I get to see what the design looks like, whether it's a PLF or a PES file or whatever. So you can have it on whichever view you want. So let's start with this extra large. So we need to get these PLF files into this pattern folder right here. So you're going to click on the first one. You're going to hold your control button, which should be down at the bottom of your keyboard, and then you're going to click each subsequent file like that. And if you let go, they stay blue. So now you want to click and hold your mouse button on one of these. Don't click on this picture. Click where it's highlighted. You click and hold and you drag and you put it in the pattern folder. Now mine's going to ask me if I want to replace because I already have it there, but I'm going to say yes. Okay, so it replaced it. So now we're going to scroll back down. We're going to do the same thing with the motifs. Now I'm going to change the view just to show you. So now I have to look and read very small fine print. And I'm going to click my first one. I'm going to hold the control button and click all the PMF files. And I accidentally did a copy there, but that doesn't hurt anything. And now I have all the PMFs with the exception of this copy. And I'm going to scroll back up, if you're not already there, and we're going to click and hold and drag and drop. Let go of your mouse button. I'm replacing mine. Alright, so we're going to scroll back down. We're going to go to Happy New Year, and I'm going to change it to large icons. So I'm going to click the first one, hold my control button, and click, 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 and click. I'm going to scroll back up. I'm going to click on the one of them that's blue and hold. Click and hold. You're just clicking one time and hold, not double clicking. And then you're going to let go of the control button and you're going to drag over to where it says pattern and you're going to let go. Mine's saying it's already there. Do you want to replace? Yes, I do. Okay. So we're going to go back down and you're going to do each one of these. So here's the PMF. I'm going to go to medium icons. That's pretty little. That's not too bad. All right, so we're going to click, hold down the control button, click, 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 and click. Okay, we're going to scroll back up, and we're going to click down and hold, and drag and let go of the control button, of the mouse button. All right, so you're going to do this with every one of these subfolders. Do it, every single one. And you can use whichever view you want to use, as long as you're grabbing only the PLF files. Okay, so if you want to see what this looks like and you're in this view, because we can't see it here, you can double click and it opens up. Or you can simply change your icon, change your view icons, and you can see it without having to double click and open the file. Alright, so let's say you've done all these. Now we want to go over to Palette 11 or PE Design 11. I'm going to open mine. So I'm going to flip back over to this, and y'all have probably seen, as I've been scrolling up, all these subfolders underneath my pattern. So I for the sake of making easy to find something, I've set up folders for different types. I've got these that are programmable fills. I've got the baby lock files. That's come from the community, the baby lock palette community group. These are files that I got years and years and years ago. Now here's my baby lock files that have actually come from baby lock. Alright. I've done some Christmas files. I've done stockings. I've done some file stuff, some fall stuff, so on and so on. So I have mine separated. But let me go over here to palette, and we're going to, I'll show you a little secret. Alright, so we're going to create a shape. We're going to go to Home, Shapes, and I'm going to pick the octagon. I'm going to hold my shift key down, and I'm going to drag out with my left mouse button and let go. Alright, so right now it says fill. We don't want a fill, we want a decorative fill. So click up here where it says fill, go down the drop down menu and click decorative stitch. I'm going to take this zigzag off. Alright, so if you don't have your sewing attributes set up so that they're always on viewable on your layout and editing page, you need to go up to View. Let me expand this. Sorry. You need to go up to View in your layout and editing, and you're going to come over here to where it says Attributes, and you want to check each one of these. And as you do, they'll pop up over here if they're not already up. And also check this import pane, and that's right here. So you can import designs that aren't PES designs. And that's for another video. Alright, so now we have our shape that we want to use, and we want a decorative fill. So if I click right over here in my sewing attributes, click that, then I can see here's all the baby lock designs from Design Suite 1. They're all right here, all down to here. Alright, so remember all those folders that you saw? So see this little folder right here on this browse window? If I click that folder, it pops up this little browse folder. And here's all these folders. So these are my alphabets that I got from Subway, but there's nothing, I don't know why that's saying that. Okay. I think maybe they're motifs. Okay, so here's the baby lock community files. These are what I got from the group, and so on and so forth. So let me click this and I'll show you. So these are Christmas decorative fills that I created, and they're on my ETSY Shop. I'm going to put a plug in for my ETSY Shop. Okay, and there'll be a link below. All right, so let's go back to my, the pattern folder. Okay, and we're going to scroll down, and here's the baby lock files. So let's get this Happy Holidays. All right, so there's the Happy Holidays. So there's a lot you can do with it. You can move it and put it at a different direction. You can resize it, and you can go up to, let's see, I'm just really curious if it'll go to 18. Oh, maintain aspect ratio. Always have that clicked on. So you can do that. That doesn't do anything. You can go down as far as 1.00. I don't think you really want it that small. Let's see. But you can do that. It's going to take forever to stitch. There's a happy medium. Let's say 2.50. There's a happy medium. You also, when you're going to use these for stitching on your embroidery machine, you want to change this run pitch somewhere between 10 and 12. You can experiment with something a little longer, stitch length, which is what this run pitch is. But somewhere between 10 and 12 seems to be a good number. All right, so that's how you use them here. If you want to put this back to normal, we're going to highlight this degrees, and you can just type 0 and it'll come back to normal. If you wanted it a little larger, 7.00, you can have Happy Holidays really large right in the center. Now here's another cool thing. So let's get a different design. Let's go to Decorative Fill and click on the, let me cancel this. Click right here where it says the Happy Holidays right now. Scroll down and let's get the bat. All right. So now if you go and up to home and you get your selection, your select point tool, see this dot? You can put anything where you want it. If you want to have the bat in the center, you can. If you want to have those circles right in the center, you can move this around till they're right in the center. So let's make this a little bigger. Let's make it 7.85, which is what I usually do to the design. Since I have an 8.8 inch hoop, I can let me get my select tool. I can right click, go down to numerical setting, size. So I know I'm getting off a little bit, but I'm going to show you some. 8.5, hit your tab button, and it puts the same thing here. It makes it a square. All right, so now let me get this point select tool. Now if I drag it, I can put a big bat right there in the center. And if you wanted it even a little bit larger, we can go 8.50 and move this around a little bit more. And let's just increase it to 9 and see what happens. So see what you can do with this. I think this is so cool. All right, so that's how you can use your decorative fills. And remember, you can select your folder that you want by clicking on the folder up here on the browse window, and it opens up. If you want to put all your baby lock files into a baby lock folder, you can do that. So let me flip back over to File Explorer, and I'm going to show you. So you would click on the pattern folder, you would right click and go down and say New, and scroll over to Folder, and then type in baby lock fills. Okay, so you could move, since I know I have baby lock fills, you could move all these baby lock fills and have them in a separate folder so it doesn't congest your decorative fills folder. So I'm just going to do the same thing that we did when we were copying the fills over. I'm going to click on the first one. I'm going to go all the way to the end, hold my control button and click on the last one and it highlights them. Now when I drag them, because they're on my hard drive, they're going to say move. So I'm going to move it into my Baby Lock Fills folder. So now when I'm in layout and editing, by the way, I'm using my Alt button and tapping my Tab button, and it shows all the windows that are open, and I can go from one to the other and let go of the Alt button, and it takes you to that other window. Hold the Alt button and tap, and it takes you back to File Explorer. So Alt Tab. So now let's look for the Baby Lock Fills folder. And here's all my Baby Lock Fills. They're no longer in my pattern folder. So I'm going to scroll down, and they should have been right here. They should have started right here. They're now in that other Baby Lock, Baby Lock Fills folder right here. So you can keep things organized, so to speak, and have all your Baby Lock Fills in one place. Alright, so now let's go over to the machine, but don't remove your USB drive yet. Let me close this window. I'm not going to save this. You want to go back over to your File Explorer, and you want to find your L drive, your USB drive, whatever your designation is. You need to remember what that is for the port that you stuck your USB drive in. You're going to right click and you're going to eject. Okay, so find your Baby Lock Decorative Fills USB designation, highlight it, click on it, right click, and then eject. You need to do that with any USB drive you put into your computer, because you could risk ruining your USB drive and it not being able to use it, having to reformat it and losing whatever happens to be on it. So I'm going to go over to the computer, to the embroidery machine, and show you what needs to be done there. Alright, so I'm at my sewing machine. Now I have a cable in my USB port over here. Let me move this over just a little bit so you can see this. See this? This is a USB to USB. So I put one in my USB drive here on my machine, and I put my Baby Lock or whatever USB drive into that. Sorry. Alright, so we're going to go to IQ Designer, cancel, and we want to find the designs that are on this USB drive. So first off, I'm going to put a shape, and I'll do the octagon just like we did in palette. I'm going to click on my region button. I'm going to click on the Decorative Fills, go to Select, and go up here to Custom. Now, if you're using My Design Center, it's a little different. I can't tell you what it looks like, but you'll have something up here that will let you, on your brother machine, do the same thing. Alright, so we're going to go to the Pocket, and we're going to go to Design Suite, and here is Halloween, New Year's, Thanksgiving, and Winter, just like we saw it on the computer. So if I click on Halloween, then I go to Fills, here's the fills, the 5 fills. So I'm going to pull up the bats since we use that, and we're going to say OK. So you cannot just copy all these over to your built-in drive, okay? And you can't delete just one. There's no button here to delete just one. Hey, Baby Lock, you need to put a button in here that lets you delete 1 or 2 files, just like whenever you're in your embroidery function, you can delete all the files. All right, so we have to, in order to get rid of all these, which I'm going to go ahead and do, I got to do clear all. By the way, this is one of my designs, this little ornament right here. So I'm going to hit clear all. I'm going to say OK. So I'm going to go back custom. We're going to go to the pocket. We're going to go back to design suite. Click here. Go to fills. And guess what? You don't have a way to select all of these. You have to go one at a time. So you got to say OK. Got to go back to the pocket. Go here. Go Halloween. Fills. Do the next one. Did I already do the bat? I don't remember. Let's do this. We're going to say OK. That's bats, it looks like. But it's a different bat. So we're going to go to the pocket. We're going to go to here. So let's bring up a winter design. We're going to go to fills. Bring up the candy canes and say OK. So you have to do that with each design that you want to bring into your embroidery machine and use. If you're using, or if you have palette 11 and you're not using it, you should be using it. This function in here is great, but it's still limited and they need to do some work on it. Hello, Baby Lock. All right, so now we've got some designs in here. So I'm going to bring one more in. I'm going to bring the Halloween that we used on the computer, which is this one. I'm going to bring that in. I'm going to say OK, and I'm going to choose, I've got red chosen, and now I'm going to go to my fill bucket, and I'm going to touch inside my shape that I just created before we started. I'm going to click next. So there are a few things you can do in here. You can resize. You can go up to 200%. So if I go up to 200% here, that's what it's going to look like. Can you move around like this? This says position offset, but I haven't been able to. Let's see if I go up and do this, does it do anything? I don't see a change. Do y'all? So let me go back to this and go back to 0. Let's watch it closely. Oops. Go back to 0. I don't see a change, so I don't think that will rotate it. Let's try this one. I'll rotate it 0.24, see if that will rotate it. I don't see that it did anything different, so I don't see that it makes an impact. Now, if we go up here and go, let's rotate it 45 degrees, I think it will here. So that rotated it. But I don't know what I know this skews it, so if you do a random shift, it really makes it look funky. So it does some funky stuff to it. So we'll go back to 0 here and say OK. So you can rotate it here and you can size it. So let's go down and let's size it to 50%. Okay, so we're going to size it to 50%. So that puts a lot more of the design in there. Now, the question is the run pitch. I guess it calculates this automatically. It doesn't let you choose, evidently. That's an outline. That would create an outline around it, I guess. So let's see. Let's do this on and see if that does anything. It looked like it put lines right here. So let's go back to this and turn it off. Or am I just mistaken? No, that's not the line. So I guess that's just an outline around the outside. All right, so it evidently, and maybe this is a run pitch, I don't know. It doesn't say, it just says position offset, and I don't see that it did anything. If I go back to 0, so I don't know what impact these three have, and I'm still learning. So this is how you use it. So when you're satisfied with it, let's go back here and go back to 0. Whoops. Put it back to a regular view. Okay, so it's back to a regular view. And then we're going to hit set, and it's going to say convert to embroidery pattern, and IQ Designer will be exited. Okay to continue. Yes, okay. So now you're in your embroidery, and you can go to embroidery, and you're ready to go. All right, so I hope that helps and get you started on your programmable fills coming off of a USB drive to your machine or off of a USB drive to your computer. If you have any questions, post them below. I'll try to answer them. Thanks so much. Enjoy!